What's up, my beautiful family? So today I'll be doing a braided hairstyle and I want to do a tutorial for you guys. I think I have 5 to 7 persons in the comment section asking me to do this style, so today I am going to do it for you. It's a braided stitch to the back, you know, cane rugger back, so I'm going to do a little tutorial for you guys. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you are new to the family, turn your post notification bell on to be notified every time I post a video. So, stay tuned.
Mic check 1 2. Can you hear me? Okay, so Chelsea just downloaded this voice, so the voiceover will be done by me. Now I'm using expression braid for this tutorial, and to get started, you know, the first thing you want to do is cut the hair in two so that it's easier to handle and it's harder to tangle. Now I'm doing my pre-stretching because I don't use pre-stretched braids. You can use pre-stretched if you would like it. It doesn't make a difference, but for me, I love the stretching myself. And of course, the stretching is done so that you have ends when your style is finished. And there you go. If you look, you're seeing the ends. Now to get started, I will have roughly 3 plaits at the back. This is to prevent the hair from being too tight when it's braided around the back, so that the client can bend their head, and it also prevents the hair from cocking up at the back. Now with the parts, I'm applying the jam and then making sure that the part is neat. There you go. Then I also apply a little jam in the hair itself, in the client's hair, so that when I do the plaiting, it holds all the hair together and it looks neat. There you go. Alright, so basically we have 3 plaits there, and of course as you plait along, you want to make sure that you add braid so that you get the thickness and the length that the client desires. Now for the parting, you want to part the client's hair so that it matches the shape of her head, and you apply the jam and then make sure that the part is neat. Again, you apply a little jam to the client's hair so that when you're doing the braid, it's neat. Now I separate the hair, and then you start with a small amount of braid, because this is an invisible braid. You don't want to make it obvious that the braid is added. Now as you go along, however, when you're feeding the braid, you want to take a thicker and thicker amount until you get the desired thickness of the client, and then you braid around. Be sure to remove any loose hair that gets caught in the braid, and then when you reach around the back, there's a trick that I'm going to teach you. Now a lot of times you see people have this style and then it's cocked up. You want to just make sure you add a little bit more braid so that it gets thick and the hair will not look cock up at the back. Apologize for anybody that doesn't speak patois and doesn't understand what cock up mean. You can ask a Jamaican friend what's the meaning of cock up. Again, you separate the hair in 3. Use a small amount at the beginning, and then as you go along, you add more braid, but add it thicker and thicker until you get the desired thickness. Then you braid around to the back. Watch the trick again. As I reach to the back where you normally see, you know, a lot of people with the style and the hair is cocked up, I add a little bit more braid so that it's thick and the hair holds down instead of cocking up in the hair, in the ear. So of course, you know, you continue to braid until you reach to the top or close to the middle of her head. When you're at the back, you want to add more braid to get the desired thickness and length. Now I'm over to the next side once more. Be sure to use a small amount at the beginning and then add more braid, thicker and thicker each time that you're going around to the back. Now you will realize that I braided the left side and now I'm at the right side. I didn't braid and then go all the way across because you want to make sure that the both sides get the same amount of braids, and then when you're in the middle it's easier to divide the hair to get an even amount and find the middle. Now in the future, I may do a video explaining, you know, like basic how to cane or how to plait, all of that. But basically, you just divide the braid in 3, then you start adding to the client's hair in a plait pattern. Again, you use a small amount at the beginning, and then as you go along, when you're feeding the braid, you want to use a thicker and thicker amount. So when you get that desired thickness, you basically braid or plait continuously to the back. And once again, that trick, you add some more braid when you're at the back so that the hair isn't cocked up. Now my client is feeling herself a little bit right there, trying to be featured. When she's not feeling herself, she's lost in her phone. And as you can see, the braids are not too tight, even though they're well neat and put together. You can see my client is well comfortable in her phone. It's as if her hair is not being done. Now that I'm plaiting out the back part, I'm basically adding more braid to get the thickness and the desired length. And as I get closer to the top, you'd realize that it's easier for me to see how much hair I have working with, so I can decide how to do the part and make sure that each part is even. So client and I having a full-blown conversation. I don't even remember what we were talking about. More than likely we were discussing somebody's business. So now I'm on the last cane row, but what you'd realize is that each part at the top is done evenly, and if you try to cane row from one side go straight across, that wouldn't be possible. You may end up having 3 cane rows on one side while the other side have 4 cane rows. So it's best you cane row one side, then start at the second side and cane row up to the middle where everything meets, and then it's easier to just even out everything. Also, you want to have straight parts, and you get straight parts by starting from one side and then going to the other side when you reach the top. That way you have this pristine look right here. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but you can see that it's like I used a machine to do these parts. They're just neat. After all, it's just Chelsea beauty. Make sure to reach out to me on Instagram, by the way, to get your hair done. It's good when you get your hair done by the best. Now I'm doing the back. Basically, simple steps, just adding braid to get the thickness and the length needed. And of course, you want to make sure that the client already agreed with a length, and then you work with it. Now for the people who are interested in getting their hair done by me, you can check me out on IG, Chelly Beauty. But of course, the link will be in my description to get connected to my business page. Please do not comment that you want to get your hair done. You could reach out to me on my business page. But of course, keep your comments coming. Make sure that you like the video. If you have not liked the video as yet, go ahead and like it right now. Now, this is where I trim the hair to make sure that any loose hair that is there gets trimmed up the hair. Make sure that the hair looks neat. It also helps to prevent the hair from pulling out faster, and also when it's getting, when the style is getting a bit older and it's pulling up, the loose hair would show quicker. So you want to just make sure that you trim all the loose hair here. For the people that don't like to trim the hair, you just want to make sure that the style looks as neat as possible. And then of course, you use your hot water so that the hair gets a bounce. It doesn't look stiff because of course it's braid. So you use the hot water, and it also helps to shrink some of the loose hair. Now you want to wet the edge of your cloth or towel so that you could damp the top of her head, because of course we can't pour that water on the head top. So you damp the top of the head to get that hot water applied as well. Then here I'm cutting off some of the edges and then applying the growth oil here that she uses. She says that it helps her hair to grow. Of course, we don't promote brands like that, but you could just, whichever one that works for you, you could go ahead and use your growth oil. Apply it to the scalp. Now we're using the firm hold jam, whichever one you choose, to get some edges. You guys have always been asking me why I don't do edges, so let's get some edges done. For this client, I'll be doing some octopus edges. It's like magic, look at that. Right before your eyes. Actually, it's not right before your eyes. In case you're wondering, I have edited out some of the video. This is how I get the octopus edges done. You'll see that in a few seconds. So I use the tail of the comb to get the round part. And of course, the firm hold jam helps to keep everything in place. And there you go, voila. Look at that. If you like this look, go ahead and reach out to me at Chelly Beauty. And of course, share this video as much as possible. Be sure to like, turn the notification bell on. And thank you guys for staying tuned. Now I pass you over back to that voice, Chelsea.
Okay guys, that's it for this video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to the family, turn your post notification bell on to stay connected.